organizing.
The people, yeah. It's up to the people. You start hearing it all over now. It's up to you. Damn right it's about the people. The people got, like Vietnam, you got to get out there and protest. The No King's coming. It's got to be not 7, 8, 9 million. It's got to be way, way more than that.
What do you think it is about peaceful protests that drives Trump out of his mind? He's so triggered when people are out there peacefully protesting against him.
Who cares? He's an idiot. We got to get rid of him.
Yeah.
He's going to ruin the country. Everything that this country has worked for, represents, he is ruining it. And it's right before your eyes.
Do you think people are, Eric Holder said this to me, we are slow to rouse, but once we are awake, we stay awake.
Well, I hope he's right, because and I didn't want to use the word hope. People have to mobilize now and be ready for the midterms so that there's no question that it's a fair election.
We just had off-year elections and Democrats ran the tables. Republicans lost by huge margins, indisputable margins. To me, that creates an unfair standard, right? Republicans just have to win. Democrats have to win in massive margins to protect against fraud and cheating. But do you think that's the standard until we get Trump out of the system?
Yeah, I think it is. I think everybody has to get out there every way possible. They have to get out there. This is it. This is our country. You know, I want my country back. I don't want everybody going around with their the MAGA with the American flags like they're the only ones. We are the Americans too, and I think there are more of us. No, I know there are more of us, because we believe in what's right and wrong, empathy, kindness, bringing the country together, not dispersing it. That's some sickness that Trump has. When he was a kid, I read something, it's interesting, in a magazine where they're talking.
Okay, enough of him. Look, guys, I put that in to prove a point. Trump has broken their brains. Their brains have fallen out their heads, Johnson. Robert De Niro used to be a great actor. We used to watch his movies, and now I can't watch him the same way. The guy is so delusional, so cut off from reality, so out of touch with anything that's happening, fam. This guy sitting up here talking about America like some Andy Griffith shit. Some old school, I don't know, black and white televisions and Ozzie and Harriet shit. I don't know, man. Some 90210. What is this even talking about, fam? You know, this is a country where, you know, thousands of kids have gone missing every year. Thousands of kids go missing, never found again. Right here in this country. This guy's talking like it's rainbows. This is a delusional person who's been disconnected from reality, is so rich, is so cut off, so insulated from all things that happen in America, just spending his money and being rich and famous for the last 40, 50 years. He don't know what the hell's going on. Why would we even entertain his thoughts? He just doesn't like Trump. But anybody that believes that Trump, who's been on the scene about 10 years politically, family, the problems that America's had have been around a lot longer than 10 years. And where was Robert De Niro before Trump was a politician? Was he out here complaining about the poverty, the homeless rate, the incarceration levels? Was he out here? I don't remember seeing his ass. I just saw him in movies minding his business, dating black women. That's all I seen him do. Where was he complaining? Because a lot of the shit that people complain about Trump, that they say, they're leaving out all the issues that were happening before Trump took office. For years, for decades. We're talking about longevity of problems. We're dropping bombs on countries, going to war, people coming back with PTSD. We had veterans. We had veterans who caught cancers in Afghanistan and over in the Middle East. Coming home, it took them 20 years to even get coverage. And our practices of the burn pits in the way that they dispose of waste while they were stationed in those countries are what made them contract and develop cancers. And it took 20 years, and a good amount of the servicemen and women who ended up ended up acquiring cancer or developing cancers never even lived to see them get coverage. And we got this guy talking now. If you are a family member, or if you're one of those servicemen or women that went through that, is Trump your problem, or is it something far bigger? I think it's something far bigger. And what I'm saying is that's just one example, one tiny example of what I'm talking about. These people talk as if it was all rainbows and sunshine and everybody holding hands, skipping down a yellow brick road and just love overflowing. No, it was a facade. When you got a Democrat in, no one talks about our problems because they don't want to upset anybody because we got a Democrat in office. And it was even worse under Obama. Trying to pretend things were right. Meanwhile, we had the worst, black people had the worst fallout. We lost more businesses and more homes than any other group, and we had a so-called black president in office. Do you think Robert De Niro was upset about that? No, he wasn't. He waits till Trump gets in, and now it's the end of the world. What about the end of days 10 years ago? What about the end of days of 2016? Yeah, 10 years ago. 2012. What about the previous regime? You've been here. Robert De Niro's been around long enough that he's lived through so many shitty administrations with so many horrible. He lived here under Bush. When we went to a war, there was a made-up reason to go to a war. Well, 1 million people were killed for no reason. And this guy who sat through it, who was 40 years old when that happened, he's like 80 now. He was like 40 when that happened. He acts like it didn't take place. He acts like now it's disgusting. Now it's horrible. When they had them people sitting up there lying about mass destruction, weapons of mass destruction, being in the hands of the Iraqis. He knows that happened. And suddenly it's gone out of his brain. These people are just full of it, Johnson. And at some point, as whether you're a working class black American or if you're a working class white American, if you're just a person that works for a living and you know anything, dog, the fentanyl crisis, what they did to folks in the Midwest and folks right here in West Virginia, not far from where I'm at. I'm like an hour and a half from West Virginia right now, here in D.C. or in Waldorf, Maryland. Family, they just carpet bomb the community with these pills, with these opiates. They developed the opioid crisis. The level of fentanyl overdoses, opiate overdoses. Catastrophic. He omits all of it. All this happened. Didn't have anything to do with Trump. Trump wasn't even in office. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people dead. Families destroyed. And this guy talks like those were the good old days. Those was the good old days. I want my country back. Mofo, you either should not be talking due to lack of understanding or your total ignorance, or you are a propagandist and a liar and you're the scumbag. Right? The whole reason why you get a Trump, if you hate him or love him or wherever you at, is the opportunity, right? You know, that's it. The opportunity for a Trump, a person with no political experience. You know how bad you got to be as a Republican Party to have 20 mofos run against Trump in 2016? All of them with vastly more political experience. And he come and run through the whole field. You know how upset and tired of your political party you got to be to do that? I want to be clear so y'all understand what I'm saying here. Walk with me on this. Think about it. There was like 20 Republicans who have been senators, congressmen, businessmen, from governors, all of this, all walks of life in the political arena. And this guy who's never held any office, not even dog catcher, comes and cleans the clock of every Republican. And then he goes and beats the former First Lady, Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. You know how fed up people got to be for that to happen? Now, either he sent every voter a check for thousands of dollars, or a lot of people drop the ball for that to happen. And something I was thinking about earlier today, fam. The Democratic Party is a closed party. They're a party that does not allow what took place in the Republican Party. See, Trump is an outsider. He came from outside of the establishment. That has never happened with the Democrats. Biden, establishment. Obama, establishment. Kamala, establishment. She was picked by Biden. Now you got a Trump because an outside person was able to come in and become their nominee. Not just once, not twice, but 3 times in a row. All this is made possible by a disgruntled, pissed off, working class, a combination of all the grievances that so many Americans felt. They're like, I'll roll the dice with the orange guy. I'll roll the dice with the TV host guy. I'll roll the guy with a game show host. I'll roll the dice with the business guy. Like, that's what happened. And it only happened because they did such a bad job. Because the people in the Democratic Party and the leaders in the Democratic Party and the leaders in the Republican Party did such a piss poor job, it created a lane for Trump. Trump didn't do it. You did it. You did it by overlooking the real issues that impacts Americans. You did it by ignoring, turning a blind eye to not being bothered what was going on with Americans, working class Americans. The fact that 40% of Americans can't afford a $400 emergency and you couldn't be bothered. You didn't give a shit. It was that interesting to you. You lived in La La Land. You went to your parties. You went to your freak-offs. You dated your sisters, your black sister, black woman that wanted you or whatever. You and Bill Maher, and you went on shows and you talked shit and you drank your expensive vodkas and did your coke in the bathroom off strippers' boobs and you just drove your fancy cars and made your goofy movies and you pretended that everything was fine because it was fine for you. Meanwhile, other people were frustrated beyond frustrated, sticking a revolver in their mouths and blowing their brains out, or running the engine in a closed garage, idling the car, pulling up in front of women all across the country, pulling up in front of their house and just sitting in the car for 2 hours, not even want to go in and deal with their husbands and their kids. The people getting divorced over finances upon financial issues. All this happening. People in dead-end jobs, no investments, no 401ks to fall back on, can't retire, can't afford to quit. We got these rich bastards now harkening back like it was some magical, fantastical time. No. Whatever was going on before Trump came, it was so bad that we got Trump. That's how bad it was. All right, folks, you've been watching the most dangerous show in America because no one tells it like it is. And it's time somebody did it, so why not let it be us? My name is Tim Black. Go to jointimblack.com, become a member of this show. Why? Because we going to say it straight, and we going to give you something different to think about. This ain't a news show. I don't just read news articles that some flunky who's paid by the system wrote on some website, and I've come regurgitate it. No, I give you my opinion based on my research and analysis, and give you something different. Give yourself a break and take another point of view for a change. Whether you black, white, Latino, Asian, Native American, working class, hurting class, whatever you are, it's going to be the same message no matter who I'm talking to.